We can't stop talking about it. We're still talking about Holly Holm here on the Morning Brew with Friends. But we have Tim Knisley and Kelly Cooper in. And Tim is the CEO of the Rio Grande Community Development Corporation. And Kelly Cooper is the Vice President for Philanthropic Services at the Albuquerque Community Foundation. I just want to kick it off because you guys opened up, are part of SINC.
Yeah.
And this is the most clever idea. It's a nonprofit incubator for nonprofit companies, right?
Absolutely.
We've been talking about incubators and accelerators for a while. There's things like West and ABQ ID, those kinds of programs. But there's never really been anything for nonprofits. And you guys said, hey, wait, we could do that.
Well, it comes out of 27 years of community development work at the Rio Grande Community Development Corporation. And over that time, a lot of neighborhood people have just come forward and said, I'd like to build this. And we've helped them do it. And over the last 10 years, I've been working in the business incubation world, and we've had a real resurgence in the entrepreneurial support that's happening in Albuquerque. And this is an attempt to really pool that entrepreneurial support and put it toward nonprofits, to people that are building programs with social impact. And not pure nonprofits. I mean, these are social enterprises. A lot of them do have business, similar revenue streams.
Just because you're a nonprofit doesn't mean you can't make money, right?
No margin, no mission.
Right, that's it. And so SINC how is it kind of structured? Is it like an office there, or is it a separate building? What is it? Is it
so for now, we're based out of the South Valley Economic Development Center, but it's not really location specific.
Okay.
It's really about making sure that anybody who wants to be a social entrepreneur, anybody who wants to build something with a social purpose, has a connection to the nonprofit world, has all the mentorship, the technical support they need to make it work.
It's really more of a program than a physical space.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Awesome. And then, Kelly, we're going to talk about the Mayor's Prize. This is huge, too.
It is.
And this is part of, it's Global Entrepreneurship Week. Everything is going on with this, and the Mayor's Prize is a big part of that. Am I right?
Yes, you are. I'll tell you that I think that we've all discovered that there's a place for philanthropy in the entrepreneurial community.
Right.
Our mayor approached the Kauffman Foundation about a year ago. The Kauffman Foundation is out of Kansas City, Missouri, and asked them if they would be willing to fund a prize for entrepreneurial support organizations, nonprofit organizations supporting entrepreneurs. So we've been working on that for about a year. The Albuquerque Community Foundation had to raise $200,000 to earn the $200,000.
So it's a matching grant.
It's a matching grant. And we've been in about a 10-month process. We started with 27 applications. We narrowed it down to 11. And then tomorrow night during GEW Week, we announced the 3 winners.
And where is this going to be?
At the Epicenter at Innovate ABQ.
I love this. What time? Anyone can go. Anybody should go.
Everybody should go at 6 to 8 p.m. It's a groundbreaking opportunity for New Mexico and for Albuquerque.
That's huge. I know there's so much stuff going on for Global Entrepreneurship Week. I'm trying to get to a lot of it. I went to some of the parties last weekend for it, and I know there's some stuff going on today. I know 1 Million Cups on Wednesday morning is packed with a lot of great stuff for that. And this is one of the big push weeks for the city to let everybody know that there is this entrepreneurial spirit. And I love that you guys are getting involved with the Community Foundation because I think it's kind of a new realm for you guys to start looking at this stuff, right?
It is. We actually established a field of interest last year for economic and workforce development. And we have two processes that we're funding. One is the Mayor's Prize that happens tomorrow night. The other was a competitive grant program in economic and workforce development. And the first nonprofit that we funded through that was TIM at the South Valley Economic Development Center because their program is so good and benefits so many. It goes on and on, I think, the reach of that grant.
Well, how many businesses have you guys started out there? I mean, I'm thinking of all just the salsa companies in my head.
Years, it's been quite a few. We have a community of, 140 businesses right now that we've started over the years. That are still rolling around Albuquerque, and it's really neat.
And by rolling around Albuquerque, I mean, some of them are food trucks that are rolling around Albuquerque.
Yeah, some of them are literally rolling around Albuquerque. Yeah, the South Valley Economic Development Center is one of 20 different nonprofit programs that are operating out of SINC, that are using SINC as their back end, that are really using the SINC ecosystem to grow. And it was really neat to see that work out through the Community Foundation this year.
Right.
And we're very excited for
what kinds of things do the grant pay for?
The grant pays for outreach in the South Valley. It's really, we have TASA, which is the Spanish language equivalent of 1 Million Cups.
And this, for those that don't know what TASA is, it's really amazing. You show up, they give you free coffee, which I love. And awesome. You hang out and listen to everybody give business pitches at, it's 9 a.m. every Thursday, and you just kind of get to hang out and hear two businesses every week give their pitch and talk about it at the crowd, ask some questions. People just have a great conversation about what the business needs and what you can do with it, and it's just a great fun time.
1 Million Cups is all over the country, but we are the first fully bilingual. So we'll have a Spanish speaker one week and an English speaker the next, and we have translators that are very good and a lot of fun. And,
Roberto's amazing.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So where do you guys go from here with this now? Are you now launching your fundraising for a 2016 challenge grant?
We already are, yes, and we hope that with the momentum we build with the people we announce tomorrow night, that gives us stories to tell about success. You know, I think that entrepreneurism has become a buzzword that everybody's using, and when you really break it down, it's simply about creating new jobs in our town and creating new businesses, and the philanthropic role in that is important. We're going to our donors, and they believe in that. They really think that we can all work together to grow jobs in our community.
Right. Well, I think there's a lot of not just effort, but a lot of interest in it too. You know, you guys worked very closely with ABQ ID this last time too, and I mean, where's the next steps in this for the Community Foundation? Are we looking at you guys forming your own specific fund for entrepreneurs, or?
We have started our own specific fund, and it is called the Economic and Workforce Development Field of Interest. As you know, we funded this through our competitive grant program through the Cinco Amigo Fund, the Concours du Soleil. We're funding
When
teen
is the Concours du
entrepreneurship.
Soleil?
Third week of September.
Okay.
So thank goodness we're a long way out. We are.
Because it went not too long ago.
Yes, you did. We raised $185,000 this year,
That's
and
huge.
we are awarding it to teen entrepreneur programs.
That's very cool. We're talking about some of that backstage. There's some great ones too, right?
Well, and that's a good age to intervene and reward these kids for their brilliance.
Right. Well, we had the teens on because they had their startup weekend this last weekend, and there were some of them in here, which was very, very cool to see. So, what's the next steps for SINC, and what else are you guys doing at the South Valley Economic Development Center? I mean, there's so much on the ground. We met Josue a couple weeks ago. He was on the show. We had a great talk with him. He's the new one of the new directors down there.
The work in the South Valley Economic Development Center is great. The Mixing Bowl Community Kitchen has been doing really good things out of the community kitchen side of things. TEDx ABQ is one of our projects. We had TEDx ABQ Youth yesterday, or Saturday actually, which was really fantastic. There's just a lot of really interesting things growing. And then we have a few that are just kind of brand new, up and starting. We have a new Valley Community Interpreters, which works with stay-at-home parents that speak Spanish and helps them learn how to do medical telephonic interpreting over the phone.
That sounds awesome.
Which is really neat. Great way to start a home-based business. There's just a lot of people out there with really good ideas.
And of course, the greatest commercial kitchen around.
And the greatest commercial around, of course.
We'll be back in a couple of seconds. Philip Lee is here along with folks from the Boys and Girls Club. We're going to find out what's next with them. And they had that big airplane pulling thing a while back. And I never heard who pulled the airplane and who won. They actually pulled an airplane down the runway.
I did not hear that.
Right?
I didn't win.
Who won, Tim? We'll be back in a couple of seconds and find out on the Morning Brew with Friends.